Resume recording. Yeah. So what we had discussed in our last session, I believe this was the code. This is the code, and this is what we were doing. We have components. One is employee component, another one is payroll component earlier, and in that we used to give it to ERP. So if I am taking, and this, whenever this component has to give data, like we used to manage this in a store, Redux store, and employee data in employee name, say I am giving, say Sumit, I will say save. So what it is going to do? It is going to push it to this ERP component. Yes or no? Likewise, for payroll, if I am making it the salary 1,20,000, okay, and I will say save, then this is getting pushed to where? To the ERP as well as ERP pay. Okay. Now, so this we had done, and the last one we are doing is ERP CTC. In ERP CTC, our approach was a little bit different. These were on click, right? These are on click events, but here it is on change event. So for CTC component, what we had created this ERP CTC, and here see it is, okay, this is ERP CTC here, this is employee salary. Okay, now in this, what we are doing here, this is ERP CTC. So where we are, in which component we are putting this one? This is the payroll. In the payroll, we are giving additional, in this one text box. So let me go here, not this one, the payroll. In the payroll, what we are doing here is the input. This is the input type is number, and here we are binding which event? On change event, right? On change event. That means anything changes here, it is going to do what? It is going to trigger the event, and it is supposed to get reflected here. So for this, what we have done, on change, we are taking this payroll, and from the payroll, where we are going to push it? We are going to push it to this, either type is this is display CTC. This is display CTC, yes or no? So here we are taking the event, and here in my store.dispatch directly we are doing my store.dispatch. Yes, and in that we are updating the CTC, and type is ACTC. So how we are handling it in the reducer? In the reducer, we are taking 3 categories in switch case, either ename or esal or ECTC. So when it is ECTC, we are taking this as ECTC new info.ECTC. Okay, this is already we have completed this part, but where we were there today, we have to understand something new in this. Okay, here we are taking ECTC, right? And type is ECTC. Now, where we have to display this? Where we have to display this? In ERP CTC, e-salary. So let's go to the ERP CTC here. This is the one. This .props.ectc we are taking. Now in this, what we need to do? In this, what we need to do? Now this guy is, this payroll is updating, right? This payroll is doing a dispatch CTC. So when this dispatch CTC is happening, then at that time, where it is going to do? Save. It is going to save it into the store. My store.dispatch we are doing. It is going to store it to the Redux store. But then ERP pay, how it is going to get it? Can someone tell me? Sorry, ERP CTC, how it is going to get it? There is a method called connect.
On change method.
Connect.
Yes, sir. We have
connect
to
from React Redux.
ERP.
Yes, exactly. Yes or no? So now let's go import. We have already taken connect, right? We have taken the connect, but we have not written connect so far. So let's do that then. What do we need to do? We need to call connect method, and connect method first connect gives the connection, and the second argument takes what? The component which we want to establish connection with the Redux store, that is ERP CTC
component name.
Yes, component name. And what it returns? It takes the same component. It does what? It establishes the connection with the Redux store, and finally it returns the same component, that is ERP CTC equals to this. Yes or no? Now Now this connect method takes what? It takes a callback. What callback it takes? It takes a callback. Yes or no? What we do usually in this? We give the callback is what? It is the method which is supposed to be called or triggered by the Redux store. We are sending it to connect is going to establish the connection, and this callback you are sending it to where? To the Redux store. To the Redux store. Yes or no? To the Redux store. That is what? To the Redux store. Yes or no? Fine. Now, so in this case, how we are going to connect? How we are going to connect? What we need to do? We need to update it, right? We need to update it. That is, we need to return something. What we need to return, guys? That is CTC. Yes or no? Or it is ECTC, whatever it is. ECTC. So if I take CTC also, then I need to take what? I need to take with state. So for this, what we need to pass? We will pass the object which is supposed to be called back. Which is supposed to be called back. Yes or no? Which is supposed to be called back. Did I do anything? 1 second, guys.
Stop the sharing.
1 second. This is why it got like this. One second. Yes. Yeah. Visible, guys? Is it visible? Can you please confirm?
Yes, Sunil.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So now in this, how we are going to update this using state? Yes or no? State dot. Do you remember how the JSON objects get stored? Do you remember how the JSON objects get stored here in the
Yeah,
store?
state dot reducer
State
one.
dot reducer. Yes or no? Reducer name. What is the reducer name here? What is the reducer name here? The reducer name is my reducer here.
My reducer.
That is my reducer. Dot CTC. Dot CTC. Is it enough? Is it enough? Is it going to give us? Is it going to give us the updated value? Refresh it. Did it compile? Compiling. So with my reducer, what is the name you have taken here? What is the name you have? ECTC you have taken, right? Yes or no? So ECTC you have taken. So you need to go here and say it's ECTC. Yes or no? You can also return ECTC. Return ECTC. So if we are going here, refresh it, go to the console. Let's try to. Okay, let me close this one. Okay, this is warning is fine. Ename reference has been found within the strict mode tree. Okay, that is fine. Now, in the CTC, if you are updating something, it is supposed to update here. Is it going to work like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here. Now the state variable, it is getting updated. It is getting updated. Yes or no? That means on change is working perfectly fine. On change is working perfectly fine. The others were working, they were very much functional. Okay, that is Sagar. If I say save, where it is saving, where it is saving, it is saving here. If I am taking e-salary, I'm taking say 1,50,000. Yes or no? And save it. I think little more salary it is. Yes or no? So here it is updating. Now it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. That means on change how it works. Hand in hand it works. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, it is a bidirectional binding, right? Two-way binding it is. Like in Angular and all, whenever you do this, how you do that? Like using like this. You will use like this bidirectional bind, two-way binding. For this two-way binding you have to do. How you have to do? Anyway, Angular we are not starting here, so leave it. For two-way binding there is inbuilt two-way binding method, but in JavaScript you are not having. In React you are not having. So here whatever the changes you are doing 8, 9, 0, automatically it is getting reflected because it is getting changed in the on change is
Okay.
getting called every time, every
We
key you
dispatch the data to Redux on change method.
on change method.
Yes.
Okay, okay, but but this is the way we have done the earlier in ERP also we have followed the same pattern. Okay, in ERP pay also we have followed the same pattern. Here we will see something different. Here we will see something different. What? That is when you do this on the actually Redux side also there are some functionality. Here what you are doing? Connect method you are using from which side? Connect is coming from where? React Redux, right? Connect is coming from React Redux. React Redux is on which side? React Redux is here on this front end side. So connect is calling from here to here, and when you are sending it, you are sending a callback so that store is using that callback, assigning its state to that state, and it is sending it back. Yes or no? Okay. We will not use connect method here. We will be using something which is provided on the Redux side. Okay. Anyway, from both the sides it works. Okay. You can use connect. Connect is available in which library? React Redux library. We have used it, extensively. By this time, by now, we have already used it in 3-4 places, and we know how to use it. Yes or no? But now we will see what is available on the Redux side to connect back and send back data to the front end. Okay. So we'll not use connect here. Okay. So first, what do we want? Then we will first take our store object, that is my store. Yes or no? So let's go and import. What is that? My store from where it is. Yes, store, and it is my store. It is my store. Yes or no? And we can do this is one way. Yes or no? This is one elegant way to do this. But we have to see now what facilities available, what libraries are available to send back information from the Redux site. Okay. So there is something called get state with the store object. That is with my store. Okay. There is something called get state. So what I am going to do, I am calling say my store dot get state is the function which is going to return also. Here you are sending it from connect. In connect you are sending it a callback, and you are sending an object which will be assigned with the state variables. But if you are approaching from the other way, you are doing a reverse engineering, that means from this side there is something called get state with the store object. If you invoke get state, then what will happen? It is going to return you the state variable. It is going to return you the state variable. So let's do this. Let state equals to, let it be state. Let state equals to my store dot get state. See here, get state. It is going to give you the store object. Yes or no? See entire store you are how it is. The class, see here. It is very well. It is defined. If you see this, you will get everything. Okay. What it is telling? Store. This is a store object, right? Empty object n. It is logical end. Logical end means if the first one true, then it is it will go to the second one. And in this my reducer, because every reducer, JSON object will be associated with here with my reducer dot ename, my reducer dot esl, my reducer dot ectc. We had already discussed this, right? See here, these are the store objects. Okay. Now, if we are getting the state variable, first and foremost, let's understand where actually you define your state in a component, where you define your state variable.
Constructor.
Yes, constructor, right? Yes or no? So constructor. Inside the constructor, we do that. So first statement is what? Super call. Then tell me this dot state variable, right? We call it like this. Here we are going to say define our CTC. Here we are going to define our CTC. Okay. Initially CTC is nothing is there. So you can keep it CTC equals to 0 or empty. That's fine. So once our constructor is ready, we have a state variable. We have a state variable now. Yes or no? Because when my store dot get state, we are going to get it. How we are going to handle it, we have to understand. Yes or no? If it is a state variable, then in this case, would it be props anymore, or it will be state? It is this dot state, right? This dot state dot CTC ECTC. You can put ECTC here. Put it ECTC. That's fine. Okay. So initially you have defined your state variable where ECTC is there. It is empty. Right. Now what we need to do? So we have got our state variable. Okay. And my store is going to return us, get state is going to return us the state. Yes or no? Okay. So when we are supposed to get it, when we are supposed to get the state, it is going to give us an initial loading time. Get state. Actually, we are calling my store. We are calling my store, and we are going to get the state variable to where? To our application. So where we can get it? Once our component is available, that means component mounting happens, component mounting completes, then we can call this so that it will be helpful because all variables will be initialized and all. So can you know which will be right place, right justified place for this? That is, if we will put it inside a function which is just getting invoked after mounting is complete. What is that lifecycle method? Can someone tell me? Component. Can we do this? That means how many times it will be called? Component did mount will be called how many times?
One time, sir.
One time. When?
Mounting time.
When
The component will be loaded. Component will be loaded for the first time or mounted for the first time. At that time, we are going to retrieve the store value, whatever is that there in the store variable, we will call this. Yes or no? So we are getting the state variable. So now tell me from state variable, if I have to get CTC, let's say ECTC, then how I am going to get it? From the state. Now from the state, if you want to understand, just go here and check. From the state, tell me now, this is the state object, right? From state, how I can get ECTC? Tell me. State dot what? This is state variable, right? State dot
My reducer dot.
This is store variable is nothing but state variable. State dot my reducer dot
ECTC.
ECTC. Yes or no? So state dot my reducer dot ECTC. After we get this value, where we have to update it? To the state. To the state variable, we have to update this. Then tell me what is the function to update it to the state variable?
State.
Set state. This dot set state. Yes or no? This dot set state. Inside set state, what do we do?
ECTC.
So
This dot.
ECTC is what?
This dot,
ECTC. This dot. Tell me
it dot ECTC.
why you need to do this dot. ECTC equals to ECTC. Here it is ECTC. Here also it is. And
Yes,
ECTC equals to ECTC is equivalent
yes.
to only
We
ECTC.
store in variable.
Yes or no? So if we do this, then let's see, will it work? Will it work? Now we have done this. That is fine. We have done this. Let's reload this application. Let's reload this application. ECTC. I'm going to call, say here, you keep checking here. Okay. Here it is ECTC. Here, see here what it is. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am taking here, but is it updating here?
We didn't show that, but in
We didn't
console,
say.
we get in console. This value is we got in console, I think.
This value we got in console. Where? In the reducer. ECTC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we are not getting it. Why?
We have to display this with another method, I think. We didn't display this on UI. That's why.
We didn't display this in the UI. This dot state dot ECTC. In your state variable already you are updating set state you are calling, right? Then
So maybe there is another method to show. This is this we were showing a connect method, I think.
Then what we are missing here? What we are supposed to do here? See, component did mount
Export, so export maybe.
export. Okay, what export?
No.
What is that something we are missing here? Are we missing anything here? See here, we are getting the state variable here, right? We are getting the state variable. Okay, after that from state my reducer, we are getting this ECTC. Then we are calling this dot set state ECTC.
In return, we have to update.
Okay. So what happens, you know, let's put a debugger here. Let's put a debugger here. Let's put a debugger here. Okay, let's put a debugger here. And let's go and run this. Reload it. Reload it. Okay. And here say it is. Here it is. So component did mount. Component did mount. Initially, what it is happening? All are empty at that time. It is at loading time only. It is loading it. Yes or no? It is at loading time. It is going there. By that time, what is there in the state variable? My store dot let state. So in the state variable now, what you are getting here? In the state variable, what you are getting here? All are empty. All are empty or not? All are empty. It ran. Then after that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you did it. You did it. At that time, component did mount. Would it be called anyway?
No,
Would it be
sir.
calling?
No.
No, right?
Yes.
You don't call. So that's why whenever you are doing some changes here,
So, okay. We have to write this
now
component.
you understood why it is not happening.
So we write this code in component did mount. So we have to write this in component update. Component did update.
Component did update. If I do that, component did update. But update is happening or not, how would you know? Automatically it will be called whenever update is happening, right?
Yes, whenever we updating on change.
Unchanged. So at the time, what will be called? When component did update gets called. So that's really a good logic, brilliant logic that we cannot put it in component did mount. Okay, this code we cannot put it in component did mount because this is one time activity.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Yes or no? So that means one time it happened means that is gone.
That
So
time we got
what
a
happens basically, we can put it in other life cycle method or not, that feasible solution is we can check by ourselves. But what happens, there is something called subscribe. There is something called subscribe. So actually in component did mount also you can put, because subscription is only one time thing. Actually whenever you are having a store, Redux store, whenever you are having a Redux store, at that time what you can do, you want to get state from here, you want to get state from here. Okay, so for that what you need to do, first and foremost, your in your store actually you have to subscribe. So when this component is getting uploaded, this component is getting updated, ERP-CTC is getting mounted, at that time you need to subscribe your store inside this my store dot subscribe.
मतलब sir
My store
इससे
dot
क्या होगा?
subscribe, see here. So inside subscribe what happens, there is a callback which is a listener. So adds a change listener, it will be called anytime an action is dispatched and some part of state tree may be potentially have changed. You may then call get state to read the current state tree inside the callback. That means whenever your store has an inbuilt function called subscribe, a subscribe method is something which will be automatically, which will be taking the first argument as a callback, which is nothing but a listener. And when this listens to any changes happens to your store
Redux side.
on the Redux side, then automatically it is going to, the listener is going to be triggered. The listener is going to be triggered. That means inside this subscribe, see
Subscribe
here,
means
inside this subscribe, you have to register a callback. So a callback to be invoked on every dispatch adds change listener. It will be called anytime an action is dispatched. Okay, any action is dispatched if you have subscribed your store, and this subscription has to be done only once. You can put it in constructor or you can put it in component did mount. Okay, it is better place to put it in component did mount. Constructor also will be invoked only once, component did mount also will be invoked only once, no issues, no matter. Okay, but which is a better place, because constructor is for initialization and this subscription is also one time activity which can be registered inside component did mount, because component did mount will be called only once when the component is getting loaded. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now this we can use, and it takes a callback. It takes a callback, which is nothing but a what? It's a listener. It's a listener. Yes or no? It's a listener. Now it's a listener. So what we can do? What we can do? Directly we can put all the code inside this code inside this. It doesn't look that great, because this logic you may also do what? You may use anywhere else also. So what I will do, I'll make it little better. Just decouple this. I will, rather than putting it, I will put it into a separate method. So for example, called say update CTC to the store or in the store, in store. And inside this, nothing we are doing, simply we are doing what? Putting this. We are putting this. Now after doing this, what I can do, rather than using all this, what I will do, I will register this inside this. That is how I will call. We have to use this only, right? Then only to use it. Component this update citizen store. You can call this. What I'm missing, can someone tell me?
Function, sir. Before update, write function.
Before update?
Write function. Is this function update in store?
Update CTC in store.
So before that, write a function keyword maybe.
Where I am writing a function keyword. Do you need to write a function keyword here if you are inside the class?
No, sir.
What we are
Update
missing?
CTC object. That.
That is fine. That is fine. What
Okay.
something I am missing? Which is thumb rule? Basic thumb rule, guys. What you are using inside this? Inside this function, what you are using? Which keyword you are using?
This keyword bind we have to write.
Exactly. And when this is the case, this in this kind of scenarios, you are not. It is not a trigger. It is not an unclick event or unchange event or something that you will use a bind there in this view. In this view, are you using this? Are you using this functionality anywhere? Are you triggering this with? Are you registering this with any event, on click or on change or anything? No. Then, in such scenarios where you want to have a function here, you want to use this inside this. Then at that time, you have to bind this object. Otherwise, you cannot access this object inside a function. Then, in such kind of scenario, where you register inside where?
Constructor.
Inside constructor. Tell me. There are two ways to register. Yes or no? One is if you are calling it from view, then on change. Then you do this dot bind. And yes or no? See here. What do you do? Here on change event for this dispatch CTC. Dispatch CTC is using this object. Dispatch CTC inside this, it is using this object or whatever it is. So at that time, what do you do? What do you do? You are calling it. It is registered for a event, change event. Then you do this dot dispatch dot this dot bind this. As you are calling this inside here, you are directly binding it here. But in this case, you are not calling it anywhere from the view, from this view. This is the view only, right? You're not calling this. In such scenario where you are going to update it, the bind this dot update ctc in store equals to this dot update ctc in store dot bind. Do you remember this? Both the criteria. In two places, it is good approach to do binding for this in two places. When you are calling it, you are registering it to a event change. Then and there you can do this dot, because this function is what registered for this event change. So this dot dispatch, when you are calling this, at that time it will bind with this object. If and the second use case is when you are calling this, but you are not calling this from view. In that case, you should register it. You should bind this object inside constructor. Got it? Can you say yes? Can you say yes? Did you get it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. These are the two approaches to bind your object. Yes or no? You can bind your object in many places whenever you get a requirement. Once you start getting into this, you can use it anywhere. But where it is best practice to do this, that matters. Now, we have done it. Now, what we have done it? We used what? MyStore.getState. MyStore.getState is going to fetch us the state of our state of our Redux. Yes or no? Redux store. Okay. Then we need to register a listener here. As in this case, it is a listener, on change event listener. But here there is no listener. So how you are making it a listener? How you are making it to listen every time? What you are doing? You are calling a subscribe method to my store. That means any change happens in my store, then this listener will be called. Then it is going to update this one. Now let's go and so I hope we have saved this. Yes or no? I hope we have saved this. Now let's go and reload this. Do we still have a debugger anywhere? That is for the first time. Then after that, you go and change the CTC. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what is happening? Still, this CTC, this ESAL didn't get reflected. Yes or no? So here you see my reducer. Now it is there. It is coming here. What we are missing? So it is coming with my reducer ECTC. Yes or no? Okay. Now in this you are calling this dot set state ECTC. Yes or no? This dot set state ECTC. Now how you are accessing this ECTC? This you go here. You are calling this dot state dot ECTC. You had not saved this value, right? Or did you save this? So reload it. This is the first time. Yes. Okay. If I say one, see here, it started changing here. If you say 2, 3, 4, you are seeing the changes here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You are doing changes here. It is listening here. Why? Because you have registered a listener. How? Using what? Using your mystore.subscribe. And inside this callback, whatever you are doing, that will be invoked every time when there is some change to the store. And whatever the changes to the store is happening here, whatever the changes you are doing here, all these things are going and getting changed where in the store. And whenever it is getting changed in the store, then this my store.subscribe we have done, this is listening. And inside this, it is invoking it every time. It is calling it and it is getting the ECTC, whatever the change it is CTC, and is calling set state. So when in set state this updated CTC is coming, it is automatically render is getting called because it is set state and it is automatically displaying it here. Who could not understand this workflow? Any doubt so far here? Guys, any doubt so far?
No sir. Sir, I have a question.
Tell me.
ये जो सब्सक्राइब मेथड हमने जो मतलब क्लास कंपोनेंट में इस तरह से यूज कर सकते हैं हम रिडक्स को, लेकिन ये जो सब्सक्राइब मेथड है उसका रिप्लेसमेंट फंक्शनल कंपोनेंट में क्या है?
Yes, it is there. Functional component में भी इसका है.
क्या है?
Then we will go, we'll understand. Like you are using use state, right?
Yes.
Yes or no? So, like in functional component, we will explore other things also. When you are using, when and all, you can even, like, you know, whenever you are using a Redux store, okay? So, where you can use Redux store. There are two scenarios, particular scenarios we are going to understand there, okay? Where and all Redux store is an efficient way. Use context is also there. Use state is also there. Okay. So now what we are going to do, we'll understand how API call happens for this. How API call happens for this. So let's talk about a scenario. Let's talk about a scenario. So for example, this is one of the React application. This is one of your React application. Okay. And this is your store. This is your store object. This is your store object. And this is your, for example, reducer. This is your reducer. Okay. Now, what is three-tier architecture? Do you know, guys? What is three-tier architecture? What is three-tier architecture? Do you have any idea? What is a three-tier architecture? Let me tell you. Okay. All this in the industry, there will be thousands of projects owned by hundreds of companies. In a company, you may have 15, 20, 30 to like 300, 3,000 based on the company size and like whatever the brand. Okay. So if small companies, they might be running with a single product or like 10 projects or 30 projects or 50 projects. When it is a bigger company, then they might be running running hundreds, thousands of projects. But in every project, they follow some architecture. Like whenever you prepare a building, at that time what happens? You first design the layouts. Yes or no? Basically, application, there will be like in industry 2-tier architecture and 3-tier architecture and multi-tier and multi-tier. What does it? What does it? Whenever you are having one product or an application, this is a for one. This is a product or application, whatever it is. A product or application. In this, there. So when this is a product, there will be some client, there will be some consumer client. This is the client side. Client side will be accessing this application. Okay, this is called DMZ. This is called DMZ. What is DMZ? Anyone? What is DMZ, guys? What is DMZ? Anyone? Demilitarized zone. Demilitarized zone. In between India, Pakistan, there is a border, right? Anyone has seen that movie? What is that movie? Salman Khan, Bajrangi Bhaijaan or something. So there, other side Pakistan border will be this side, India border will be there in between somewhere. Okay. So somebody is found there that he will not be owned by India, he will not be owned by Pakistan. They both will shoot. This is what demilitarized zone. So see, client is, for example, there are n number of clients. Okay, client might be sitting in US or anywhere, any geographical location. This application is there, for example, in India. Now client has to interact. How it will interact? They'll be interacting through an IP or a domain name. Yes or no? So client knows that this is an Amazon, so www.amazon.com. When they hit this, how it happens? It comes to the DNS. It comes through the DNS. Yes or no? It comes to the demilitarized zone. Demilitarized zone is what, guys? Which is not owned by anyone. This is darknet. This is darknet. Yes or no? So this will be finding. They will be finding shortest path algorithm. There are, hop counts are there. So all these things are managed inside the DMZ. So OSI model you would have studied, right? What is autonomous system you would have studied. So when this is hit by the client, then its vendor, respective vendor, they will take www.amazon.com. So they will ping, they will publish this. Then which is the nearest hop count, the shortest path algorithm will be there, and that will get the minimum hop count one. Then that will go through that path, and it will reach to that IP. So for this, there will be a table space. There will be a table space where Amazon.com will be 10.20.30.40 colon 8888, for example, port number. It will come here. Now, it is a client side. On client side, if the client side may be a browser, maybe a other standalone application, other an Android application, anything, or it may be a front end browser application. If it is a browser application, what and all things are there? Say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, then Gojo, Ajax, yes or no? Then Reach Faces, Prima Faces. What else are there? There are many. Yes or no? Thima Life. There are many things are there. So there are many front end technologies are there which are used to develop this utility. Okay. Now whenever it comes here, okay. So you may use to prepare this. You may use some frameworks like say React library. You use React library. You are using Angular JS. You are using Vue.js. There are many other JS. Yes or no? So all these are you are using to what? Develop client-side application. Then how you are going to talk to this backend? You may use XJS, you may use REST calls, you may use, so there are, there are many protocol. There may be HTTP protocol. There may be
API through.
Yes, there may be HTTP protocol. Yes or no? There may be HTTPS protocol. There may be REST protocol. There may be SOAP protocol. There may be MQP, message queuing protocol. There may be RMI protocol. There may be CORBA protocol, common object request broken. So it is, for example, HTTP. How it goes over TCP/IP, either TCP/IP or UDP. It may be HTTPS, HTTPS over TCP/IP. It may be also a REST. What is REST, guys? Representational state transfer, TCP, TCP/IP. It may be a SOAP protocol, simple object access protocol. It is called simple object access protocol over TCP/IP. What is REST? It is called representational state transfer. Representational state transfer. REST. Yes or no? What else? It may be RMI protocol, remote method invocation. It may be a CORBA protocol. What is CORBA? Common object request brokering architecture. Common object request brokering architecture, ORB. Out of this, common is something which is generic. ORB is actually the most important. Object request brokering architecture. This ORB based on protocol is IIOP protocol also. It is IIOP. What is IIOP? Internet Inter O stands for ORB. This ORB and this ORB. Internet Inter ORB protocol. In IIOP and in CORBA, this ORB, object request brokering, is common. Okay. All this runs over TCP/IP. What is the difference between TCP/IP and UDP? User datagram protocol. UDP protocol, what happens? TCP protocol, UDP protocol, anyway. That is your task, you will understand. Anyway, what is 3-tier architecture we are understanding, right? If you tell me MQP protocol, message queuing protocol, yes or no? T3 protocol, it uses also T3, 3-tier protocol, it is called T3 protocol. T3 protocol. There are specifications. There are specifications for this. Okay. Whenever they are going through web services, how the protocol has to follow X503. Okay. How all this protocol works. Okay. There are specification, for Java, if you are using Java, then JSR specific, Java specification request, JSR 300, 330 standard, all these standards are there. Likewise, here also, these are defined. Now, this is actually on the server side, this is the architecture we have to follow. This is the presentation tier. This is the business tier. And this is the EIS tier. In between, I am putting something which is a controversial thing, but we will talk about this. So, the southbound, this is called southbound. This is the north to south. This means if you twist this in a clockwise manner, then this is the top side. That means this is the user interface. This is the user interface, user side. And the most, after that, this server side comes, and finally comes with database. This is database is called southbound database. That means this is south, this is north, this is south. So something happens from the north to south, the workflow happens. That means we just submit some data, it goes from north to south. North means top, it is the head. South is nothing but the database. It is that's why it is called southbound databases. And it is the northbound. Okay. Now, in this, what this tier is called? It is called EIS tier. What is EIS? Can someone tell me what is EIS? Enterprise Information System. This is called enterprise. This is called enterprise information system. It's called enterprise information system. Okay. So here, enterprise information system is nothing but the databases. These are the databases. On databases, there are two types of databases. What are they? I will not teach this whenever we are going to, full stack one. At the time, I will not repeat this. Okay. One is what? RDBMS. That is relational database management system. Another one is NoSQL databases. In RDBMS, relational databases, what and all things you know, like say PostgreSQL, MySQL,
SQL,
yes or no, MySQL, then
Oracle,
Oracle, then MS Access, yes or no, then tell me, DB2, then
GraphQL,
Einstein,
and all, it will come in this
GraphQL doesn't come here. Okay, Einstein, then tell me, there are big lists, guys. You don't know the databases. InguageDB, H2DB, then HSQLDB, yes or no? Then SQLite is there, Firebird is there, yes or no? There are many. Derby database is there. Okay, there are many. Okay, if you start listing, there will be many. Likewise, no SQL database, no SQL databases. Can you name some no SQL databases? MongoDB, Cassandra, yes or no? DynamoDB, HBase, Greenplum. Then for Elasticsearch DBs are there. Yes or no? So NoSQL DB, again it is vast one. In NoSQL DB there are different categories of database. Some are like graph databases, whatever you are telling, GraphQL. Then there will be key value stores. There will be like JSON object, key value stores will be there. Yes or no? There will be object databases. There are document databases. Then in NoSQL database also, like they also follow this tuple structure. They are called column-oriented databases. When it's possible system design, I will take 1-2 sessions. I will tell you how to pick the database based on your requirement, which database you are supposed to pick and when, and for what purpose. There are varieties of databases. Database itself is a huge thing in itself. It's a big, it needs SMEs, subject matter experts. Which database you need to pick based on your requirement, your performance, how frequently data you need, how alternative data will be, what would be the size, what kind of data, if you need more number of blobs, binary large object, yes, some blobs. So in that case, what database you are supposed to pick? You need more table spaces, you need more frequent mathematical operations, you need more frequent searches. You may need more indices, indexing you need, better indexing you need. Then which database you need to pick? You need more transactions, you need all ACID properties. What is ACID properties, guys? Atomicity, concurrency, all these things you have heard of. Atomicity, transactional aspects. How many transactional aspects are there? What are the basic 6 transactional aspects are there? Okay, there are many things. Yes or no? So these are the database. NoSQLDB, there are MongoDB, then HBase and Couchbase. There are many. If you have studied big data and all, and for big data there are many databases we are using. Okay, fine. So these are the database. Then what it is? This is the presentation tier. This is called the presentation tier. And presentation tier, and this is called the business tier. This is called the business tier. So in the presentation tier, when some request comes, it comes to the server, it reaches the server. How this data will be received by him? How the data will be received by him? Okay, for that you can use Node.js. Node Express. Yes or no? You can expose it as REST requests. Yes or no? If it is on Java side, then there are something called servlets. JSPs, JS Java server faces, struts. Okay, struts. Then MVC architectures, model view control architecture, MVCs. Okay, Spring MVC. Okay, there are many are there. Okay, then Adobe has Adobe Flex. Adobe Flex is there. Okay, there are many presentation tier technologies are there. Likewise, when you go to business tier, presentation tier will talk to business tier. Here it is, this is presentation means it will welcome the data. Whenever data comes, it will extract the data and it will give it to the business. Business is going to do what? Business is going to put its rules, its PCS, probable control logics, its engines, rule engines it will put. Based on that, it will talk to the EIS. How business tier will talk to the EIS? These are databases that do not understand business technology, business languages. It may be a Node language, it may be a Node.js, it may be a Java, it may be a .NET, it may be C#, it may be something. C#, when it is .NET, it will use ADO.NET. When it is Java, it will be using what? JDBC. It may be using Hibernate. It may be using ORM tools. ORM. What is ORM? What is ORM? Object relational mapping. These are objects on this side. Your JavaScript is object based. On the database, it is relational database. How an object maps to the relational database? That means whenever there is an employee here, whenever there is an employee table here, how you represent this employee table on this side? This is an employee table. It is employee ID, employee name, employee salary, all these things are there. It is say employee EID, ENAME, ESAL, and the past experience or something, number of years of experience. This, when it comes to the business tier, how it will be represented? It will be represented in a what? It will be represented in a JSON object. JSON object. That means it will be EID. EID is 101. Whatever it is written here, one column will be represented here in this object. This is the object. It is object. It is relational data. So it is when one column of this, one row of this is represented by an object. This entire row will be represented by a JSON object. This is called object relational mapping, ORM. Object. This object is mapped to this relational database. One record of this will be represented on programmatic way is this. When it has to be stored in the heap, it is in the database. When it has to be brought back to the heap memory, the memory is in the program area. Yes or no? In the program area. So when it will be represented, how it has to be done. Yes or no? There are many things. Web services are there. When it is n-tier architecture, what happens? I will tell you. Anyway, 3-tier architecture, when we discuss, I will discuss a little bit more in depth of it. Now, let's not waste time on this. It's more theoretical things. Okay. So, what we are going to do, we are going to next, in the Redux, next concept we'll be talking about. So, in this, what it is. So, for example, this is what? This is your React application. This is your React application. This is what? This is your store. This is your store, and this is what? This is the, say, for example, the reducer. This is the reducer. Now, all this workflow we know, but what we have not done so far, we have not been doing this. We have a database, for example. We have a database here. This is a database. There is a server. There is a server for this. This server is connected to the database. Server is connected to the database in both the ways. It retrieves the data from the database, it stores the data to the database. And now, how this database is going to talk to here is Ajax. This is an Ajax, synchronous JavaScript XML, and this is going to trigger the request to whom? Trigger the request to the server. It is a request, it is, and one more is a response. It is a request object. This is a response. This is what? This is the server. This is what? This is the database. Now it is our React application. It has multiple components. It has multiple components. So it is component one. It is a component one. It is a component. It is a component three. Right? It is a component one. It is a component two. This is a component three. So what is there in component one? So for example, it is an employee. It is an employee. Yes or no? Now whatever is there in the employee, it will be you will be using the dispatcher. That means action. From action, it will go to the reducer. It will be getting data. It will be getting stored here. It is a, for example, you have all the employees. It is all employees. We'll see all these services. Don't worry. Okay. Then it is a, for example, update employee. Now, when anything is happening, okay, this request response is going to the server, to the database, and finally for an easy access for your application, what is happening? After this operation happens, whatever happens, it goes to the store also parallel. It goes to the store also. So what we need now? What we need now? In this architecture. What we will do? We'll put a handler request, a request handler. We are going to put a component called, for example, here it is a request handler. Here we are going to put a request. I've done it some other. So this is an handler. It is a request handler. Okay. So all these components are talking to the request handler rather than talking to the direct store. And from here also it is talking to the request handler. So what will happen? The workflow we are going to set now. That is, we will talk about this workflow. This is one, and this is two. This is two. This request goes here. Three. We'll discuss more about this. This is four. This is five. This is six. Okay. Then this is seven. And this is, from here it will talk to this guy, reducer. This is 8. And this is 9. Okay, we will complete this workflow and we will understand more in depth about it in the next class. So what I will do, I will save this. I'll save this for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll explain. Then we will use API calls here. We will understand how this happens. Okay, how we can call Ajax, how we can retrieve the data. We are, as of now, we are not talking about the database and all. What we will do, we will be using some existing API which is in the internet, because we have not touched full stack, and our requirement was what? If we would have completed this, this would have been a full-fledged application. I would have done it. For this, I would have made, Node and Express to talk to the database. They would have retrieve the data from the database. Anyway, that application we will be doing later. So for this, till here, what we are going to do, we are going to use an existing API which is already available in the internet. But from here onwards, this workflow will complete. So tomorrow's class will be again at the same time. What we will understand, the workflow we will understand here, and how we are going to manage this data. What is the workflow? How we are going to manage this as a full-fledged application? We will understand in the next class. We will know more about API calls and all. Okay, and we will understand what is Redux. Thunk Redux Saga, how they have to be used. All these things will understand. Any doubts so far, guys?
No, sir.
Yes, today's was more theoretical, right? Nothing much of that.
आज सर आपकी आवाज ठीक नहीं आई
ठीक नहीं आ रही है.
बहुत स्लो आ रही थी सर.
Okay, you can raise then and now. Is it coming better?
Yes, sir.
Yes, now.
Then we could have discussed this.
अभी
You
ठीक है बीच में ऐसा लग रहा था कि शायद कनेक्शन ही कट गया है क्या
sorry guys, sorry about that. I will try to make a better arrangement for tomorrow. Okay. So no doubt in this, right? These were today's was more theoretical. Anyway, tomorrow we'll understand. Then Redux thunk. What is Redux thunk? What is Redux saga? We have to understand, right? Yes or no? We'll finish it. Okay. Let me stop the record.